Rotarians. This is going to be a fantastic meeting program today. We got a large crowd, and nobody in here is familiar with the foundation at all. So you're going to really enjoy it. First of all, let me return thanks, give the invocation. Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful fall day. Thank you for all of our blessings, and we thank you for guiding us to be Rotarians so that we can make our community and the world better for everyone. And we ask that you bless us through your service. Amen.
Amen.
All right, we'll start out with announcements. If anybody has any. John Ramsberger.
I've got a couple announcements, and we were talking about this while you were at you said it. This is a couple announcements from the Tuesday meeting. Laurel Johnson and Nicole Thomas are leading up an Angel Tree program in which we're going to help out the residents of Liberty Commons and try to, they basically like a Salvation Army giving tree. They gave us some ideas of what they would like for gifts. Certainly some of the residents there might have family that still come visit them. Unfortunately, some have family that almost never come to visit them. I've got two of them, so I was going to read you what they were asking for. It was very humble. Word search book, gel color pens, fuzzy Crocs, pink, women's size 7.5. That was one request. And then the other one I got was fuzzy socks, women's size 6, a PJ set size small women's, and a word search book. How easy is that? That's not that hard at all. So I've got two of them. The great news is I spoke with Laurel this morning. They had 48 or 50 residents. And at the Tuesday meeting, they only have 2 left. So some people took 2, some people took 4, some people took, it's fantastic. So at one satellite meeting, we only have 2 left. So if you guys want to sign up for that, please do. And lastly, I asked her to send me something on text. This is the first time that they've done it, and so it's actually been a really big success. So we might do Westfield or another facility in addition to Liberty Commons next year, because it looks like this is not a hard project to do. But if you folks, whether you were at the Tuesday meeting or not, residents come and go at Liberty Commons. Some things that they need at all times would be body wash, soft blankets, fuzzy socks, they call them, soft fuzzy socks, word search books, lotion, chapstick, toothpaste, chocolate, and hard candy.
What is the word search?
Oh, I mean, biding your time, just nothing else to do. Yeah.
Where you
do the elongated circle.
and then you.
Larry doesn't know what a word search book is? So anyways,
You gotta go to Liberty.
you gotta go to Liberty Commons. So that's one update. Big success. Thanks to Nicole and Laurel for doing that.
And they also accept cash, that's why I was getting cash.
Hey, I remember talking about that, Wayne. That's right.
So,
Well, it's that time again. John likes to make sign-up sheets. Well, this is the Rotary Salvation Army bell ringing sign-up sheet. So we're going to be doing Friday, December 8th, and Tuesday, December 12th, and we're going to be at Lowe's Foods on Spring Lane. So I've got 1 hour time slot set up here. This is the paper version. I'm the one that publishes the bulletin, so I'm going to send it out in a clickable link that you can actually do it online if you want to as well. But I thought I'd bring it to this meeting. So we're basically a month out. So I'm going to pass this out. I do have a pen. If you have your calendar and if you want to look at this and put your name down for an hour slot, that would be
And
fantastic.
then you'll add it on the website.
And then I'll add it on the website link thingy so that they're synced in.
All right.
That's about it.
Thank you, John. Thank you, John. And our November 30th meeting will be Salvation Army, right? And she'll talk about their bell ringing and everything then. Meg Moss, Meg is,
New director.
yeah, she'll be
We're
giving.
gonna do COC next week? Yeah.
CUSC next Thursday morning, okay? I heard from Teresa, Larry, since, well, she just left last week, I guess.
Yeah, they had a big party for her.
Okay.
And sometime after the first of the year, maybe in the end of the first quarter, she'll come and do a program.
Okay,
Whatever the job is.
sounds good. Bragging bucks, anybody have a bragging buck? Jerry,
Yeah, I got a branded book. I don't have a book.
I don't know.
You can't brag then. I got him covered.
All
You
right.
got him covered? Okay, great. My good friend had him covered. Come on. Okay, let's stay inside. I would like to say congratulations to Dr. Dawson for being nominated as our new superintendent of Lee County Public School. And thanks to you, Dave, I got a chance to meet him. And I appreciate you giving advice to the meeting. So, yeah. So everyone, just give us a shout out. Just say congratulations to Dr. Dawson on count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Congratulations, Dr. Dawson.
And this comes from the Jonesboro Rotary Club. And our president, and we're going to keep, we're not going to fire, and we're not going to, you don't need a lot of lawyers, okay?
That's right. Yeah. I got one. I got my lawyer covered over here. All right, thank you, Terry. All right, well, Peggy Taphorn was originally scheduled to have a program today, and Peggy is traveling. I think she's in Pennsylvania. But anyway, we're supposed to do a foundation program. Rotary suggests you do because this is Foundation Month. So I thought, well, we'll give an update on the foundation, and Larry's going to have some input on it, but
Jeremy's our foundation chair.
yeah, Jeremy could not be here today.
He left.
Yeah, I think he left town when he found out he might have to do the program. I put together just a fact sheet that everyone has. I'm not going to read it, go through it word for word, but for our newer members, you're not familiar with the foundation. I want you to kind of understand what it is, because that is the machine that makes Rotary work and get things done, is all the funding that goes through the foundation. So the foundation is Rotary's charity, and what's unique about Rotary's charity is that we're involved in, we're not just donating and then you go on about your business. We're involved in what happens to the funding, and worldwide. The foundation was created in 1917 by Rotary's 6th president, Arch Clump. I think I pronounced that right. I'm never sure exactly how it goes.
That's it. And
the first contribution to the Rotary Foundation was $26.50. And as of today, over $5 billion has gone into the foundation. So it's been over a century, but it's constantly building. I'll get in briefly, in a couple of minutes about district grants. I want Larry to speak more about the global grants. And by the way, when I was first in Rotary, I was oblivious to what the foundation was. And the first grant that I remember our club being involved with was Tom Dawson's the Sanford Club. Had a
Indoor trail?
I can't remember exactly what it was. It was overseas. Overseas, some grant overseas, and I think it was around maybe 2002, 2003, something like that. But our club partnered with Sanford on that grant. And back in those days, $30,000 was the maximum for a global grant, I believe. Is that correct?
Well, you could go higher, but most of them were 15, 20,000.
Yeah. And then in 2012, Rotary completely shifted, and $30,000 now is the minimum for a global grant. You don't do anything smaller than $30,000.
David, I know we donated through Dr. Martin medical equipment to, I believe it was either Mexico or South America. Maybe that was it. I don't know if that was 20 years ago, but it sounds like it was.
Yeah, it could
No,
have
that was a cataract.
Yeah, it was a eye.
machine,
Right.
and he was able to find the, I think it was Zeiss equipment,
Yeah.
had one, it was a $75,000 machine, and we turned it into a grant from Mexico.
Yeah.
And I think the total grant turned out to be about 28,000. And then we went down to see it.
Yeah, 2008, we went down and
Right.
it was officially dedicated that
Yeah.
week we were there.
Yep.
So that was my only international Rotary trip, and that was made quite an impression on me. Yeah.
I had an impression too, because Montezuma had.
Yeah,
There's another end.
that's right, Larry.
Several times.
Larry had a good first half of the week. But
Second half, you guys had to, Carolyn and you had to drag me home.
But anyway, for the newer members, we talk about your dues and how $25 every quarter is allocated to the foundation in your name. So by paying your dues quarterly, every member of Jonesboro contributes at least $100 a year to the foundation. And the way that works, every December and usually May, Neil and I get together and we add up all the totals. When a new member joins, there's a $100 application fee. Well, that's strictly for the foundation. So they're automatically, given $100 and a sustaining member. So we compile all that up to a total, and Neil sends the payment into Rotary International. So we do that. We'll be doing that in December. That'll cover the first 2 quarters of this Rotary year. And look, before Larry says anything about global grants, there's 7 areas of focus, which is on the back side of your info sheet. And promoting peace, fighting disease, providing clean water, sanitation and hygiene, saving mothers and children, supporting education, literacy, growing economies, and protecting the environment. That are the 7 areas of focus. So a global grant has to fit in one of these categories. Sometimes it could possibly fit into more than one, but if it doesn't fit any of these 7, you're not going to be able to write a grant. So getting back to our dues, the $25 a quarter, and some members in our club give more than that. Some of us are Paul Harris Society contributors, which is $1,000 a year or more. But anyway, I'm going to switch over now to district grant, because that's what most of us in the club, I feel like, are familiar with, district grants. And our district grant for, we skipped at least 1 year because of COVID. So I think this will be our 13th or 14th year of doing Rise Against Hunger. And that's a district grant. And so how do we get the funds for the district grant? And I usually forget this and have to read. I said, how is that? So anyway, by creating this chart, I remembered again how it works. But every year when our funds are sent in and all the district 7690 contributions are sent in, of course, it's all totaled up, and those funds are invested by Rotary International for 3 years. And for those 3 years, the interest and earnings that accumulate from those investments is used for administration, Rotary administration. Rotary doesn't touch the actual funds that we just operate off the interest. Well, at the end of 3 years, 50% of what we contributed as a district comes back to the district as district designated fund, DDF. And from that, 20% of what each club gave can be used for a district grant. So, I'm gonna have to read this. In three Rotary years ago, we mailed in our contributions, and so this year, we were awarded, or we could use $2,634. Is what our district DDF, district designated fund is. And so we've always partnered with Sanford. Sanford's match this year is $1,810. So what we do, Sanford and Jonesboro partner together to do this Rise Against Hunger. So you add those two pots, those two totals in, and then part of the district grant, each club has to at least match what your DDF is. So from our pots of gold sales and the profits that we make off our raffle, we will use $2,634 from the club to match our district grant. Sanford will do the same. So when it's all said and done, the Rise Against Hunger this year is $8,888. And so the way Rise Against Hunger works, we contact them, we've already done it, this is already scheduled for the last Saturday in February. We'll do it at the fairgrounds, pack meals, we'll have 2 2-hour shifts. But those $8,000 plus buys enough supplies and materials to package a little over 22,000 meals. So that's how the district grant works. Now next year we'll have a different total. It'll probably be very close to what this year's total is, but that's how the district grants operate. A club doesn't have to use all of their money. Some clubs don't use any of it. And then it just stays with the district, and the district will use those funds to match global grants or different things like that. So, anyway, that gives you an idea of how the funds, what you contribute does come back to the club in a way. And what doesn't come back to the club stays with the World Fund of Rotary, and that's used for matches for grants all over the world. Before, I'm going to let Larry speak a little bit, but I thought this was very interesting. I came across this morning when I was trying to figure out what am I going to say. This actually had the top 30 countries in giving to the foundation, and it lists how many members in each country. So I just decided to do the top 10. Of course, the United States has 282,000 plus Rotarians, and this is the 2021-22 year. Rotary's always a year behind or so before they come up with these figures. And total giving, this includes Polio Plus, foundation giving, everything, in 21-22 was almost 204 million is what was given by Rotarians in the United States. I was surprised, the number 2 country as far as giving was Republic of Korea. I was surprised at that.
And their giving is outstanding. For
Yeah.
only 61,500.
Yeah. And then,
That's very strong.
You don't join a club in Korea without $1,000.
Is that right?
really,
Very prestigious, I guess, huh?
yeah.
Yeah, and Japan is pretty close. I mean,
Yeah.
Japan used to be number 1, Korea is just.
Yeah, so Japan is ranked 4th, India is ranked 3rd. India has the second most total Rotarians, 156,000 Rotarians in India. And you see, I went all down the top 10. I was curious where England would stand because I was going to pick at Ray Williams, but England is number 12 in the world, the 12th country out of over 200 countries in the world that have Rotary. And because of our relationship with Mexico, I went to fly Mexico, and they're 15. And Mexico only has 8,944 Rotarians. I thought it would be more than that.
Yeah, it's small.
I was surprised at that. But anyway, Mexico ranks 15.
Are you kind of choked up about it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what the foundation does to you.
That's
So anyway, Larry, would you like to talk a little bit about global grants and the stuff we've done in the past? All right, meeting adjourned.
Well, let me start with what's going on right now. Just so you know, we probably will be doing a global grant in Jamaica. And it turns out that it's a grant that Debbie Scott has been behind for 2 or 3 years. And there's been an administrative problem, as she puts it. And it's more of a personality problem, as I found out. That somebody is kind of held it up for her, and she's pissed. Strike that. She told me last week that one way or another that grant's going through. And if she has to use a higher level contacts,
That's it.
yeah, so she may tick off a few people in the district. But I said, we want to join you. And she said, we need around $500. And I said, it's about the amount, the budget amount that we could probably come up with. So, she wasn't specific about what it is. I know it's water related, but she didn't tell me exactly where it was going to be. I think she wants to get more detail and then present us with what the whole package is going to be. But we will have a grant, and it's important that we do it because the club and the president gets recognition points for doing a global grant. And any club that doesn't do that, shame on them, because that's the purpose of Rotary International. We should be doing as much as we can, and the grant program allows us to do that. Just a refresher of how we got where we got. And I got where I got with the foundation. You know, I've been a member of the club since about 2001. In 2003, I think it was, Cliff Peak was president, and he came to me and he said, I'd like you to take the job of doing a grant, which I had never done before. And I said, fine. And that's what Rotary does. When you're asked to do something, you do it. So I searched around and found a site that had a program or a project that they wanted to do in India. And if you remember, we decided that we would fund this $25,000 vehicle. It was really a big motorhome converted for literacy and health. And it ultimately wound up in India. It was one of the largest projects going on in the district. So at that point, and it was very successful. It happened very quickly, and we got the vehicle over there. They sent us pictures of what was going on, and we got to be good friends with India and did several more projects with them. The district foundation chair at that time was Stuart Fountain, and he's one of the guys that I admire so much. He has done so much for Rotary in our district and internationally. And so he called me and said, I'd like you to be on our committee. I read through your matching grant at that time, it was called. And he said, I'd like you to be on the district committee. Well, okay, I'll help with that. And 3 months into it, I was helping to review all of the projects that were being submitted. They really weren't that many at that time. maybe 5 or 6, which is awful for our district. And then Stuart called again. He said, Larry, things have changed. You're now the chair.
Congratulations.
I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I just got involved in this stuff. And he said, no, you're going to take over. And so I did. And then Patrick Eakes took over as the foundation chair. And Patrick and I really hit it off. He's so easy to work with. So we wound up taking our district from doing about 5 or 6 grants a year to doing something like 40 or 45. And really taking advantage of money that was available for us that we've been contributing into the foundation for so many years. And we were starting to see it come back to us and really work for us. And it was good for our club. Our club really, I think, understood the international part of what we do. And and then we got very close, as you know, with Mexico and wound up doing about 30 projects with Mexico. And David and Carolyn and I worked with the satellite, Las Torres Satellites, which is the name of the club down there. And so they would come up with a project and we would come up with a co-sponsor internationally. And that Rotary allowed us to make very, very strong personal connections with those people. And I still talk to Carlos Rodriguez on a fairly regular basis. Since Rotary moved from doing $5,000 to $25,000 projects to the minimum of 30, and they really like you to do 100,000, 200,000. And the whole point of it is to have a bigger impact. But since they went in that direction, we obviously haven't done as many projects, and it's more difficult to get things approved. And coming back to what Debbie's doing, and I don't think I mentioned it, but hers is probably in the neighborhood of 40,000. I don't know specifically what it is, but I don't think it's going to go over $50,000. So we're back in the business, but we're part of a much larger organization now in terms of size of grants. So matching grants, which were relatively small, about 10 years ago, we switched it to global. And now, to get a global grant, it takes maybe 2 years to go through the process. A lot of clubs don't want to deal with that length of time. And so what we've been doing is partnering rather than initiating. We've been a partner on quite a few global grants over the last 5 years. Now, I want to make sure you get out of here by 2 o'clock. I assume there's no questions. Yeah, the foundation really is wonderful. It's too bad that we can't share this with everybody, including our satellite network, because they think of Rotary as local. Rotary is huge. And we are a 4-star rated charity. 91, I think, or 92% of the funds contributed go directly to the project. There's only about 8% that goes into administration. That's very unusual. And so we've earned this charity tracker 4-star level for, gosh, as long as I've been involved in it, so that's probably 30 years. Okay, if there are no questions, and I see eyebrows dropping.
What's a $100,000 project look like?
Well, it would be where we would have done a $25,000 project for me to bringing water to two cities or villages in Mexico. Now it's 8 to 10 villages. So it's just scale.
Well, that's what I was going to talk to you about.
And it's work. I mean, I understand the philosophy. But it also means fewer Rotarians get involved. which is gonna be
Yeah.
bad. Okay?
And Larry, the project,
Right.
the big project you were involved
The
in,
month of
it
Thanksgiving.
ended up being about $500,000 or $600,000.
Oh, no, it started out to be $1 million, and then you're right, we decided to split
Okay.
it
No, that's
into
fine.
two because,
But
well,
you're good with that?
reasons, but two $500,000.
Okay, I think I'll,
And it was basically the same.
yeah.
It was a number of villages that we brought water to.
Okay,
And
good,
sanitation.
good, yeah. Well, we'll,
Okay.
I'll set it up for that. and
All right.
we'll,
All right,
you know,
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you.
You know, Larry is really, if we had not had Larry Aiken in the Jonesboro Rotary,
We'll just go with.
I don't think we would be anywhere like we are now as far as being involved.
Yeah, and then,
Grants
if
and
that
that.
doesn't work.
You really
out, someone.
Took us to another, you took the whole district to another
Try to
level.
move it to
well, and it
college.
was fun to do, and I did a lot of traveling around the
Yeah,
district.
thanks.
Got to meet a lot of wonderful people. Best organization
Absolutely.
ever.
Yep.
Rotary has the best people, and they don't refuse you. You know, if you've got something
Okay, you do,
you've done,
yeah. All
you
right.
ask, and it gets done.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, I'm gonna give you a quiz next time we're together. Wayne.
I'll be missing that day.
Anyway, thank you all very much. And John, would you mind closing us with the four-way test?
Sure will, David. Please join me in reciting the four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. First, is it the truth? If it's fair to all concerned, will build goodwill and better friendships, will be beneficial to all concerned. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Robert Gill and I playing music in Pittsburgh tomorrow night.
Friday.
Habit Brewery,
Outside.
6 to 9.